Friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are going to look at a line against the Greco's gambit. So we discussed what is Greco's gambit before. Let's go to the moves quickly. E4, E5, NF3, NC6, BC4, BC5. So as black we will be playing the move Bishop C5. And now here white has many options which can get him into different gambits. So there is one D4 over here, okay, it's called the Scotch gambit. There is B4 over here, okay, which is called the Evans gambit. Then there is the move C3, which we are going to see now, okay. So white we know is trying to play the move D4, okay, and the line which we are going to do now is going to pose black with some problems in a way that he will not be prepared for this line, because the line which I am showing is somewhat rare and we are not going for a sharp line by NF6, okay. NF6 is the most natural choice when black takes the pawn. So that is what white wants, that black takes the pawn and white is able to generate good play against the pawn. So here black plays the move Queen E7. Let's have a look at this move. The queen intends to attack the E4 pawn indirectly and it stops the move D4. So now if white plays D4 as per his idea, then the position becomes losing. D4, E into D4, C into D4, Queen E4 check. Now we see that it's a check and the D4 pawn is attacked thrice. So white has to play the move Bishop E3. So now 3 attacks, 3 supports. So black is unable to capture the pawn. Black has a good move, BB4 check. The bishop is moving without wasting the time. And after knight C3, again black has a very good move, D5. Note that white was threatening BF7, KF7, knight G5 fork. So with the move D5, now bishop cannot take D5. Queen takes D5 and the bishop is attacked right now. So after the move BD3, queen can just go back to E7 and then knight F6, castle, and bishop can come to E6 or G4. And black has just an extra pawn. White has not enough compensation in that position. Okay. So this is the main idea of QE7. Let's go back to the game. So after Queen E7, white plays the best move castle. So now what happens? White has taken his king away from Queen E4 check and now he wants to play D4. So the idea is after D4, ED, CD, he can never take E4 because of RE1. RE1 will pin the queen. So white has renewed his idea, he wants to play D4. Now we should note that once queen is committed to E7, black never wants to take E into D4. Okay. So black here has 3 ways to get the same position. Black can either play NF6 or he can play D6. We should, I think, play the move D6 and get to the same position. NF6 will also transpose. So now white plays the move D4. White wants to open the center. Black king and queen are in the center and black has wasted one queen move. So white wants to open the center. But this line is all about that. Black says that he wants to protect the E5 pawn properly and he doesn't want to open the center because ED, CD will only help the white pieces. The knight will come to C3, bishop will go to G5 and the white's pieces will get connected quickly. So black here simply retreats by BB6. After BB6, white should play the move bishop to G5 or rook E1 is a mistake we can say, because after ED, CD black can take the pawn on D4. It's slightly risky to take the pawn immediately. Perhaps black should play NF6. Okay, but definitely BG5 and rook E1 are better moves. To BG5, black should go for the plan NF6 and then play the bishop to G4 and he can consider long castle, then do H6 G5. Okay, so if someone plays BG5, we can play this way. Rook E1 is better, it protects the E4 pawn and then white keeps the option open of playing BG5. Now in this game, white went for the move H3, okay, that too not immediately. Okay, H3 will do what? It will stop the pinning by bishop G4. So white got scared about this pin because then D4 gets pressurized. Okay, white first started with a4. This is a tricky move. White sets a small trap. He wants to play a5. See, it looks like a5 is not possible because after a5 there are two attacks on a5 and only one support. But note that after a5 if bishop takes, then d5, and when the knight moves the bishop will be unsupported, bishop will be taken by the rook. And suppose the knight takes here, then after rook a5, bishop a5, then queen a4 check, and he will get the bishop. So for rook, white will get two pieces, bishop and knight he will get for rook and pawn. Okay, but this rook was useless and the both pieces were developed. So the position will be clearly better for white. So by playing the white moves, what we realized that a5 is a threat right now. So black had several ways. Black could play a5. Black could also play a6. Black played a6 in the game. At this point, many people ask me what happens to d5. Okay, d5 is a typical beginner move. The knight gets attacked. Okay, whenever we attack a piece in such a way, we should see not only the temporary things but what is going to happen in future. See, for future what is happening, this bishop is becoming bad, permanently getting stuck by the pawns in the middle. Okay, so this is called a bad bishop. Now the knight will go to b8. Okay, this is very important. So if knight went to a5, then same way the knight would have got trapped. bd3 and next move b4, and the knight will be taken. So knight goes to b8. So this looks very attractive, but what happens? This knight will come to f6, and then the other knight will go to d7, then either f8 g6 or d7 to c5, putting pressure on the e4 pawn. And look at this bishop has become bad. So I will be discussing this game based on d5 in our upcoming lesson. White went a5, bishop a7, and now h3. One of the worst moves of the game. The pawn has been moved unnecessarily in front of the castled position. In future I will be doing games specially based on this. Actually this game is based on that idea also, when one should not move the pawns in front of his castled position, in front of his king. Okay, and that too here what has happened, white is not developing his pieces. So what has happened here, soon black's development can become more. So black went for the natural move f6. At every move we should keep on counting the development. Okay, see, especially in the opening, see 1, 2, 3, and for black 1, 2, 3 and 4. Many people will say here the queen is not developed, but at least it has moved from its place. So the activity has changed slightly. Now in the game, white could have still, I think, played something like knight d2 or re1. Okay, re1 is, I think, a good move for decent move for white. To which black can try. See, black has not castled, so black can try h6, g5, g4 and open the king side. This is one of the disadvantages of h3. Second disadvantage of h3 is the g3 square becomes weak. So this game is all about that. Now white played d into e5. Okay, knight into e5. At this point I must tell you that this line is also called strong point defense, because black's whole idea is based on controlling the e5. So e5 is the point where he wants to control with the piece. So now white takes knight into e5. Black plays queen e5, and here white was quite careless. White played the move nd2. Actually, when he started with d5, this was the position in his mind. Next move will be knight f3, and then bishop moves, and maybe he will try to break the center by e5. Okay, so the position looks somewhat balanced. 1, 2 and 3 developments versus 1, 2 and 3 developments. Okay, let's see what black can do here. Black to play, and we'll try to think what will happen. Black started to sense some possibilities of making a combination. First problem for white is there are no pieces near the king. Okay, and secondly he has already moved a pawn on the h3 square. What white has done so far, with the move d, he has improved the black queen position, and this bishop on a7 has got opened. So the point which I was telling you, that the g3 square becomes weak, that becomes completely true in this position. Now black sees that he has already got 3 pieces which are developed. Bishop is eyeing the h3 square. So black 2 played, black got the winning combination here. Let's see, the moves are forced. I will try to first tell you the moves, then I will play it on the board. So black thinks of bishop h3, pawn takes h3. Okay, of course the bishop has to be taken. Then queen g3 check. See, the pawn has moved and the queen enters on g3. The pawn on f2 cannot take because of this bishop on a7. So queen g3 check, king h1 forced. Queen h3 check, kg1. So already we have picked up 2 pawns for the bishop and the king is alone. Now what black does is he gets the knight to g4, and then it's very difficult to defend the point h2 and f2. Now let's play the moves and see. So bishop h3, pawn takes h3, queen g3 check, king h1 forced, queen h3 check, kg1, and now knight g4. In fact, it's a double attack. Directly we are attacking h2 and indirectly black has got more attacks on f2. So the only way to defend h2 is nf3. After nf3, black again went queen g3 check, kh1, and now black should not do the move nf2, which might give him still some advantage, but it will not be totally winning like in the game. So after knight f2, rook f2, bishop into f2, there is no mating threat. After queen h3, the knight can come to h2. Okay, so black plays the strong move bishop f2. Now we see the attack. There are 3 pieces in front of the king. Black pieces are almost now threatening mate. So queen h3 check is the threat. After which knight h2, queen h2 checkmates. If rook takes f2, then knight f2 checkmate. Many people tell me it's a fork, but knight f2 is a checkmate. Only thing white can try is bf7 check, trying for more checks. But after bf7 check, king can just go to f8. There is no need to capture the bishop on f7. Maybe the only try would be bishop f4. But after bishop f4, queen takes f4 and the queen comes back to g3. And then again queen h3 is made. So the material will be returned, white will be 3 pawns down and the king will be open. So in the game, the white player resigns over here. Okay, let's look at one variation and then end the analysis. After bh3, white also has knight f3 attacking the queen, to which black has the same move. Queen comes to g3, again using this pin, and he attacks the g2 pawn. Now only move knight e1. There were 2 attacks and only the knight was capable of supporting. Now knight comes to g4. Look at the black pieces. There are 3 attacks on f2 and queen h2 is mate. So now there is no way other than queen into g4. Okay, queen h2 is mate right now. If knight comes back to f3, then queen g2 mate. Bishop f2 is another threat. So after qg4, bishop takes g4. We can see that black is totally winning. Okay, so this game teaches us why we should not make unnecessary pawn moves in front of the castled position. Also during the opening, white had played the pawn. Okay, so this is about the line against the Greco gambit. Then next class I will be showing you one more variation. Okay, I hope you are enjoying the lesson. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.